This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
If you're anything like me, which hopefully for you, you're not anything like me. But if you're anything like me, you're watching the January 6th Select Committee and their hearings, their public hearings, informing the public about their investigation into Donald Trump's role in the insurrection, in the failed coup attempt, the attempted overthrow of the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair election. And also, if you're anything like me, you expected it to be a freak show, a trash parade of individuals. And it has proved that to be it's an embarrassment. If Donald Trump had any dignity, if he had any ability to feel shame, he would be hiding under his desk right now. Because it has been just a wreck. Really a freak show. Really. And there's two moments I want to talk about. Two. One is the... What have they reduced me to? Look at what I've been reduced to talk about big, massive dumps. And a drunken Rudy Giuliani. Now, obviously, it is funny because it's funny. But there are larger things at play here that we need to talk about that go beyond the hilarity of it. First, let's play the clip of the big, massive dumps, which is, on its face, hilarious, hearing Donald Trump talk about big, massive dumps. They're just all these big, massive dumps they're leaving. Very funny. We'll talk about it after the clip. Watch this.
Even after his attorney general told him his claims of election fraud were false, President Trump continued to promote these claims.
I felt that things continued to deteriorate between the 23rd and the weekend of the 29th. And then on November 29th, he appeared on Maria Bartiromo's show, Sunday Futures, I believe it was. And he said that the department was missing in action.
Well, no, we had glitches where they moved thousands of votes from my account to Biden's account. And these are glitches. So they're not glitches, they're theft, they're fraud, absolute fraud. This election was over. And then they did dumps. They call them dumps, big, massive dumps in Michigan and Pennsylvania and all over. How the FBI and Department of Justice, I don't know, maybe they're involved, but how people are allowed to get away from this stuff with this stuff is unbelievable.
So we'll get to the more important part of this after, but let's, look, it's fun to make fun of Donald Trump. He makes it so easy to make fun of him. With they did big, massive dumps.
They did dumps, big, massive dumps.
That was at the moment, in the moment. He was the president of the United States of America going on live TV to talk about people doing big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
Come on, man. Come on. I mean, there's already so much to work with to make fun of you, Donald Trump. Why would you give just freely ammunition to talk about what a dumb shit you are? An absolute mushy-brained moron.
Big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps. The more important thing, and the more serious thing, is that the President of the United States, who has the Department of Justice under his purview and authority in the executive branch, is floating the idea that the FBI and the DOJ was involved. Maybe they're involved, he said. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, his Federal Bureau of Investigation, with his FBI director that he appointed, and the Department of Justice, his attorney general was involved. Maybe they're involved in the big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
The other part of this, and it is equally funny, that a trash human like Rudy Giuliani would be gallivanting throughout the White House on election night like a drunken fool. But there's something more important to talk about, and that is the fact, well, we'll talk about it, but it is the fact that Donald Trump, over all of, and I use this term not in the relative to inebriated state, but all of these sober counselors, individuals who are professionals, experts in campaigning and data, knowing what the election results were, what to wait for, about the red mirage, which we can talk about, which happens every single time during a presidential election, where there's a surge of support and votes for Republicans. And then when states who have laws that won't allow them to start counting until after midnight or even the next day, once those start to come in, there's a balance that takes place. This happens every time. Donald Trump knew it happened every time. And rather than take the advice of the sober individuals, he listens to Rudy Giuliani. Just say that you won. Bleh. Insane. Watch this.
Was there anyone in that conversation who, in your observation, had too much to drink?
Like Rudy Giuliani.
Tell me more about that. What was your observation about his potential intoxication during that discussion about what the president should say when he's addressed the nation on election night?
And the mayor was definitely intoxicated, but I do not know his level of intoxication when he spoke with the president, for example.
Were you part of any discussions with the people I mentioned, Mr. Steffi and Mr. Meadows, or anyone else, about whether the president should make any sort of speech on election night?
I mean, I spoke to the president. They may have been present, but President spoke to the president several times that night.
There were suggestions by, I believe it was Mayor Giuliani, to go and declare victory and say that we'd won it outright.
It was far too early to be making any calls like that. Ballots were still being counted. Ballots were still going to be counted for days. And it was far too early to be making any proclamation like that.
I remember saying that, to the best of my memory, I was saying that we should not go and declare victory until we had a better sense of the numbers.
Okay. Can you be more specific about that conversation, in particular what Mayor Giuliani said, your response, and then anybody else in the room's response?
I think effectively Mayor Giuliani was saying, we won it. They're stealing it from us. Where'd all the votes come from? We need to go say that we won. And essentially that anyone who didn't agree with that position was being weak.
So again, let's keep our eye on the ball. We can laugh at them because it is laughable. They are hilarious in their incompetence, in their stupidity, in their drunkenness, with their big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
But we need to keep our eye on the ball on what is important. And what is important here is the attempted overthrow of the United States government, the attempted usurpation of our democracy, the attempted disenfranchisement of you and me and 81 million plus other Americans who cast their vote for Joe Biden. That Donald Trump tried to reinsert himself in the presidency of the United States by nullifying a free, fair, settled American election. Failed coup attempt. There was no fraud. Later today, I'm going to talk about his 12-page statement, which is just subterfuge and lies and restated conspiracy theories that have all individually been debunked. And this man is going to run for president again. It's so likely he's going to run for president again because the money is just too appealing to the grifter in chief of these United States. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, a regular old-fashioned email, daily@dollemore.com. Thanks for your time and attention. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, doing the stuff that the YouTubers say to do. I appreciate you very much. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, at Dollemore. And if I bring you value, if I do something for you, whether that be information or a smile to go into your day, please consider supporting and helping produce what I do right here. You can click the join button below this video, become a channel member for $1.99 a month. Or you can do a separate way to support. It's not involved with YouTube at all. I've gotten a few emails this week, people not exactly sure how it works. Go over to patreon.com/I Doubt It podcast, and you can support me on Patreon, different than YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Avoid the big, massive dumps. Be genuine and take care of one another.
Big, massive dumps.